Hello, ladies. I would first like to apologize because last week when I volunteered to talk about one of the chapters in our reading for this week, I totally forgot that I would be working the primary election on today, Tuesday. So I decided I would try my hand at doing a video, I should say, on what this particular chapter was about. So I am talking about chapter 6, which the title of that chapter is Put on a Happy Face. And to my surprise, the chapter really was about enthusiasm and how important it is to have, to give enthusiasm, to be enthusiastic, and just how to incorporate it in our business as well as our interaction and communication with people. And one of the quotes in this chapter that really stood out to me was, a man is about as happy as he makes up his mind to be. And I find that to be so true because, we can think and think and think, but if we don't make up our mind to be happy about things and our situations and just the way things are, then we won't be. We won't be. Whether things are always the way we want them to be or they're not. We have to make up our minds what how we're going to react and how we're going to think uh, to keep our mind clear. And so I truly agree with that statement. But in this particular chapter, one of the things that Mary Kay brought out that we all should probably be pretty conscious of is that we should never discuss personal problems with our customers. Now, I know that there will be some customers that will become friends, not just customers, and that's a whole totally different thing from just having a customer, of course. But say for instance, when we're doing parties or just bookings, with one or two people, or even if it's a single person, one person at this point. But we want to show them the enthusiastic side of doing what we do. So we don't want to come to them talking to them about woe is me and this happened today and that happened today. Although our day could have been pretty bad, something could have happened that was so unexpected. But that's just a part of life. And we want to project enthusiasm to those that we come in contact with. We don't want them to think being a part of Mary Kay isn't going to uplift them and isn't going to at least give them a reprieve sometimes from things that they may be going through. So one of the points Mary Kay did make in this chapter is when we do a skincare class, we should enter that class with enthusiasm. And as we get to witness quite a bit with our sisters, our leaders in our unit, both the World Changers and the Hope unit, we get to see that as we're learning, as we're working our businesses. And that's something that we ought to be, I think, pretty conscious of so that we continue it on. And it'll just be part of what we do as a Mary Kay consultant. And of course, we know that everyone's not going to be motivated to feel enthusiastic every day. They're not, some days you just don't want to, you don't feel like it. But anytime that I think that God has given us an opportunity to be before people, whether it's one-on-one or a group, then we need to show them enthusiasm. We need to show them, that whatever's going on, it doesn't have to be the worst of. And for that period of time, gives everybody a space and time to more or less take their minds off of what may be going on. So, and then in those type of times for all of us, we would have to generate our own enthusiasm, but that we can do. And some of the ways that Mary Kay listed to do that was to read motivational books and to listen to motivational talks or music. Definitely music. Music is something that seems to always cheer everybody up. And I thought about that, how we're now singing uh, our enthusiasm song of "There's a Queen in This House." That is such a cute song, and it makes everybody feel lifted. It makes everybody smile. It makes our guests smile. They may not even understand what it is we're really celebrating, all the time when they're visiting with our classes, but it makes the guests smile, it makes the consultant smile, it makes the person that's being sung about smile. It just changes the whole atmosphere. So I agree that singing can be a tool that can always be used to cheer people up. Songs will make people get into just a different mindset. And we all know that in our own personal time of listening to music. So that's just some of the tools we can use when we feel like we just really need to generate some enthusiasm ourselves. Those are some simple things that we can do for sure. And one of the other quotes that Mary Kay mentioned in this chapter is that a happy face and a happy attitude are always an inspiration to others. I wonder, do we really even think about that? Sometimes just having that enthusiastic smile, just having that enthusiasm in a comment that you make to someone, whether it's a fellow sister or a customer or someone you don't even know, that you meet, and it's amazing how you can be out amongst people and just showing enthusiasm, just showing kindness, just being a person that, whenever someone else is around you, they feel better. That is such a blessing in itself. Mary Kay also talked about a couple of women that were national sale directors and some of the tragedies that happened to these women. Well, one lady was a medical, I guess I shouldn't call it tragedy, because she did survive her breast cancer. But she talked about one, let me get her name for you. Oh, wait just a second. What was her name? Sue Vickers. Sue Vickers. And the way she's described here in the chapter is that she was known as Miss Enthusiasm. That was her, how she appeared and how she projected herself to everyone. And she was actually murdered. She was kidnapped and murdered. And it was such a devastating blow to the company, to Mary Kay, to all that knew her. And just a senseless death, as we know of so much today. But that happened back in 1978. We hear those kind of things like daily now, it seems. But Mary Kay talked about how the company and everyone that knew her had to carry on after, the ordeal of dealing with her tragedy and her family's tragedy, and even Mary Kay, the death of her husband, how that, she was in a bad place in her mind, in her heart, in her emotions, but she had to stay strong. She had to show that she could be enthusiastic still to the other people that needed to be lifted up, even in her time of hard time and trouble. And then there was the national sale director named Rena Talbot, that she talked about, who had breast cancer, and she had to have 2 mastectomies and reconstructive surgery. And Rena was also another person that was always showing, although she was going through the illness and going through all that, the treatments and all that, that entails, she was able to keep an uplift in her conversation with people. She was able to smile, and say enthusiastic things, even make jokes, about her condition. One of the quotes that was listed in the chapter is that once she realized that she's going to have to take chemo and radiation and she probably will lose all her hair, she says to Mary Kay, I'll have to get myself a real pretty wig. Just to flip over the thought of, yes, I'm going through this, and yes, it will be devastating, but I'm here. I can still find something to be enthusiastic about. And that's the way we have to instill in ourselves. Although a lot of things may be coming against us, but we still have to hold up that enthusiasm. It'll even make us feel better if we're able to do that. So I would just like to, in ending, I've probably been talking too long, but in ending, I would just like to not list, but speak the things that Sue Vickers had spoken. She was actually scheduled to be a speaker at the 1978 seminar when this tragic kidnapping and murder happened to her. And in the notes that she had written, these are the things that she had said that she wanted to talk about at seminar. And they were, be somebody, be great. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Do big things. Don't give up. Be an inspiration